Hello, everyone. My name is Annalie Shane, and I'm the Technical Field Trainer with VIVOTEK. Today, we're going to be going over VIVOTEK's facial recognition solution. We've partnered up with the professional facial recognition software developer Cyberlink to provide a facial recognition solution and meet the precise needs of a diverse range of users. The solution is fully integrated with our VMS VAS2 so that users can both monitor and manage facial recognition results, therefore experiencing an intelligent surveillance solution for their application. In today's webinar, I'm going to be going over the features of the solution, and then I'll show you how easy it is to set it up. If you guys have any questions at all, please send them over to trainingna@vivotek.com. Let's begin with an introduction to the third-party software developer that we've partnered up with for our facial recognition solution, Cyberlink. For over 20 years, Cyberlink has been leading multimedia innovation. They are the developers of award-winning video editing, photo editing, and multimedia software. Cyberlink was founded back in 1996 and is the world leader in multimedia software and AI facial recognition technology. This company has developed and owns over 200 patented technologies, and they also own over 20 facial recognition patents. They've also received over 1,000 awards globally and have won the PC Magazine Editor's Choice 15 times. Cyberlink is a world leader whenever it comes to facial recognition and face attribute technologies. FaceMe is an highly accurate AI engine. Okay, it's ranked one of the best in the NIST face recognition vendor test and also the MegaFace challenge. FaceMe is powered by deep learning algorithms and then delivers the reliable, high precision, and real time facial recognition that's critical to those AIoT applications, such as smart retail, smart security and surveillance, smart city, and smart home. Cyberlink FaceMe is highly accurate. Okay, it's based on machine learning and deep neural network and has an accuracy rate of 99.7%. Like I said before, it ranks amongst the most precise and fastest facial recognition engines in the NIST face recognition vendor test. It's also optimized for edge computing. So FaceMe is optimized to run on most hardware configurations, from high-end workstations to low-power chipsets that are typically used in your IoT devices. And FaceMe is also optimized for cross-platform solutions. Okay, it is compatible with Windows, Linux, Android, and iOS systems. So how does this work with VIVOTEK's cameras and our VMS VAS2? Well, this picture is going to simplify the process. So VIVOTEK's cameras capture the video, and then they're going to send that video stream to our VMS VAS2. VAS2 will then send the video stream via data magnet to CyberLink FaceMe security software, and FaceMe will detect the face in real time and extract the facial features, then provide the data from the face database, such as your name, your group, time, and then send all that information over to VAS2. And now that data can be displayed next to the camera view. There are licenses that are required for this solution. Okay, so you will need the CyberLink FaceMe security license and the VAS2 data magnet license. And there is a bundled part number for this, and your sales rep will help get you that information for you. Let's go over some system architectures. So this right here is going to be a single workstation system architecture. So first, let me begin by explaining there are two parts of the FaceMe security software. You have the FaceMe security workstation and FaceMe security central. So the workstation is going to be installed on a GPU or VPU equipped computer, and that's going to provide the real-time face detection and then the facial features extractions. Then the central is going to provide the web-based console to manage the face database, configure your IP cameras, and then we'll also inform the relevant personnel about registered visitors, VIPs, blocklisted people, or even if there's an employee that's entering a monitored area. And then, as you can see here, you can install VAS2 Face Me Security Workstation and Face Me Security Central all in one server. VAS2 will provide you with the live view, the alarms, and the notifications. The Face Me Security Workstation will do the face detection and the face template extraction. And then Central is going to provide the management, the configuration, and the face matching. Okay, and if you recall from one of our previous webinars with VAST 2.10, we can now open web pages within a view cell. So that means that we can open the Face Me Security web console within a view cell and make configuration changes within VAST 2. So we can enroll faces, we can add user groups, change user groups, and then more without having to leave VAST 2. And then here is the architecture for multiple workstations. As you can see, we can have Face Me security workstations on multiple servers, and then we'll have the VAST2 and the Face Me Security Central on another server. Okay, VAST2 is going to send those video streams via RTSP to the workstations to do the face detection and template extractions, and then the Face Me Security Central will manage both of those workstations to do the face matching. Here are the system requirements for running Face Me Central and Workstation. Okay, as you can see for the Face Me Workstation, which is doing the recognition, you're going to need kind of a beefy computer here. Okay, so this is going to need your computer with a GPU or a VPU. So what type of GPU depends on how many channels you'll be using for your facial recognition. So if you only need 4 channels, then a GTX 1650 or better is required. And then for 81 channels, you're going to need 2 of the NVIDIA RTX 2080 Ti's. Okay. You can also choose to use one of the VPUs from Intel. So that's the Movidius VPU or Vision Processing Unit. And then with the VPU, you only need to have a Core i3 CPU. And here on this graph or the table, you can see how many VPUs we'll need per channel. So we can have up to 4 channels for facial recognition if we use the VPU. Next, let's go over the system performance. Let's say that there's 510 people per hour per channel with the average appearance time per person is going to be 3 seconds. Okay, if I had one RTX 2080 Ti, then I'd be able to have 39 channels and recognize a total of 19,890 people per hour. But if I have 2 RTX 2080 Ti's, now I can have 81 channels, and therefore I'll be able to recognize 41,310 people per hour. But if I bump that up to 4 of the RTX 2080 Ti's, now we can have 152 channels and recognize 77,520 people per hour. But you also have to take into consideration how heavy the traffic is as well. So if we almost double the visitor traffic, so let's say it's 975 people per hour per channel, same average time per person, then with 4 RTX 2080 Ti's and 76 channels, so half the channels in our previous example, we'll be able to recognize 74,100 people per hour. Okay, and then if you use a VPU, then you'll be able to recognize 500 people per hour with 2 channels, which this is most likely more than enough for our average office building or small retail store. And it's a very cost-effective route for facial recognition as well. Here are the image requirements for the image that you upload for the face enrollment. And you can see the minimum and recommended angles for the yaw, pitch, and roll. And then there needs to be appropriate lighting for the picture, of course, and at least 36 pixels between the eyes. And then the last thing that I want to point out is that you can have up to 5 images enrolled for a single face. Okay, this is going to help improve the recognition accuracy. It's recommended to have 5 images of the face, and then those images be like one straight on shot, the left side, the right side, and then the head tilted up and then also tilted down. Here are some of VIVOTEK's recommended cameras to use for the facial recognition. So as you can see, all of the cameras suggested have the remote focus. After the dash, you see the T. That means they have remote focus. And this is so you can adjust the focal lens based on the distance so you can have a better view of the face. And then resolutions need to be 1080p due to the decoding power. And then as you see at the very bottom, we do have a 5 megapixel camera that is recommended, but make sure that the stream that you're sending over to FaceMe is set to 1080p. Just wanted to go over some of the functions that are available on the web console for that FaceMe security. Here is showing the visitors for today. It'll show you a list and pictures of the visitors that you had today and how many times they visited. And then also you can do a search of that history. And in this example, it's pulled up almost a month's worth of visitors data and then displays it by the day. Right here is what your data magnet live view looks like inside of VAST 2. So we have 4 channels with the live views and then the data magnet information with the snapshots as well next to our live view. With VAST 2, we can also do data magnet searches, which will give us the date and time, the camera name, the live image snapshot, the database image snapshot, group, their name, if it's available, and then others. And of course, we have alarm management function within VAST 2 that's going to work for the facial recognition. And I'll show you a demo of this whenever we get to the demo portion. Some applications for this facial recognition solution that it can be used for are going to be entrance monitoring. So this can help with managing and tracking attendance, also for your access control. You can set up VIP and block list notifications to receive an alert if a VIP or if someone that is on that block list shows up. Inside of a retail scenario, it'll give you the store traffic information. It can alert you if you have that VIP or block listed list set up. Then it can alert you if one of those people are there. And then it can also help assist with the staff attendance and monitoring. And then also it can be used in conjunction with license plate recognition. So this is going to allow for the LPR and the driver identification before allowing access. All right, so this is going to be how to install the software for VAST2 and FaceMe security if we had 2 PCs. So these are your steps. First, we're going to prepare one computer to run the FaceMe security software. And then you can find the requirements for the PC running the FaceMe software on our website. I'll show you how to get to that in a little bit. Next, we're going to prepare another PC to run the VAST2 software. First, we're going to install VAST2 on PC2. We're going to add our IP cameras. And then you want to make sure that you set up the cameras with the recommended settings of H.264, 1080p, at least 15 frames per second, 1 second intraframe period, fixed quality, 60 megabits per second. And then you want to turn off that smart stream. Okay. I'll show you a snapshot of the recommended settings. And then also you can find all of these recommended settings in the facial recognition solution tutorial video that's on our website. It's a great little tutorial, shows you how to go through setting up both of these softwares. Okay, next you're going to set up the data magnet setting and then select the cameras that will be our data magnet source. This part must be done before we try to set up VAS2 within the FaceMe Security Central. All right, so now that we've set up VAS2, we've added the cameras and set up the data magnet. Now we're going to go to PC1 and install FaceMe. So within the FaceMe Security Central app, now we're going to set up VAS2. Then when that's connected, we can then turn on the cameras to start monitoring, and this will start the face detection. And finally, we can then test the system. Here's the video quality settings I was telling you about earlier. So H.264, 1080p, and then we want it to be a maximum frame rate of 15 frames per second. The intra-frame period, leave that at 1 second, fixed quality, detailed, and 6 megabits per second. All right, let's go ahead and perform a demo of installing these softwares and setting it up. It's very easy to set up. So first we're going to, well, let me start off this. We're going to be doing a single workstation setup. So remember I told you that we could have our FaceMe security, both the workstation and central and VAS2 all on one workstation. Okay, so first let's go ahead and set up our new install of VAS2. So we're going to go ahead and log in, and since it's a new install, we're going to be setting it up through the wizard. So go ahead and select the database path. Click on next. Now we're going to find our camera that we want to add. Schedule where we want to store it, and then whenever we're ready to use, we'll click on the blue button and it'll apply all of our recording options to our cameras. And now you can see our camera is viewing all these different faces. Let's go ahead and set up the video quality. So H.264, 1080p, 15 frames per second. Make sure Smart Stream is off. 1 second intra-frame period, video quality, change that to fixed and detailed, and 6 megabits per second. Next, we're going to set up the data magnet. So we'll click on the plus, third party's data source, and then here under source, we are going to change that to multiple cameras. We'll select the camera that we want to choose. So for this one, it's the IB9387. Let's go ahead and name it. So we'll call it office front door. Use the default port, that's fine. And then click on add. So now you'll notice that it's over there on the left-hand side. And then we could change the data that we show on the data magnet by right-clicking on the live view, click on data magnet, show data. And then all of our information would pop up here, but it's not showing up yet because we need to have a couple more steps to go through. Okay, so next we want to set up our FaceMe Central. We're going to go to our installation folder, and then we're going to choose FaceMe Central plus SQL and click on this install batch file. You notice that we have our screen that pops up. Now this is going to stay and looking like this for about 2 to 3 minutes. So don't worry, it hasn't frozen. I mean, you could do your Control Shift Escape to make sure that everything's still working. but it's going to take a little while for this part to install. So I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead. You'll notice it's now complete. It's doing some other things. One thing I also want to tell you right here also, before you start installing this, make sure you have Java runtime environment installed on your computer as well. Okay, version 8, I believe. So make sure that's installed first, then you can run this. And it'll tell you if it's not installed on there, and then just make sure that you go to the proper website to download the installation files for the Java. Okay, we'll go ahead and continue this. It's installing the Face Me Security Central. Now remember, the Central is for the web console. Okay, so if we were to be installing this on 2 separate PCs, then this one would go on the one that has the VAS2 installed on it. So we want this to open up with Chrome. Click on OK. And then we're going to activate our license. So go ahead and enter in your license key and click on Continue. We're going to create our admin account and password, and then enter in the email address. If you have uMessenger set up and you want to send alerts to that, then you can enable this with the toggle button. And then we can click on Continue. And now we can sign into Face Me Security. Here's where we will set up our VAS2 server. So we can enter in the IP address. Since it's all installed on the same computer, we can use this home address of 127.0.0.1. The port is incorrect here, so it's going to say it can't connect. So let's go ahead and change that to the correct one, 3443. Enter in the username, password, and then we'll click on connect. And we've successfully connected to that VAS2 server. You'll notice here, cameras not set up just yet because we still have to install the workstation first. So let's go ahead and install Face Me Security Workstation. So we're going to go back to our installation folder and choose the workstation and then click on the application. It's going to extract all of the files and go through the installation. You'll also notice some of the icons over here on the left. One is going to be for the security console. The other one is going to be for batch setup. So whenever you're trying, or batch enrollment, whenever you're trying to set up a bunch of different employees or trying to enroll a bunch of different people, you could do that batch enrollment and it'll save you a lot of time. Otherwise, I'll show you how to do a single enrollment here in a little bit. And then it's going to go through this, the install Face Me Security Workstation. Let me go ahead and skip forward a little bit for us. Now we're going to connect to our central server. Once again, it's all on the same machine, so we'll use that 127.0.0.1 IP address, but make sure that your port number is 8080. Use that account name and password that we just created and go ahead and enter the workstation name. And we'll just call this one workstation 1F. And then select if it's a GPU or a VPU that's going to be doing the facial recognition. And then let's go ahead and go to the console. Log in again with our username and password. All right, so we have our server connected. Here's our IP address, the admin account and password. We have our workstation connected. Now we need to set up our cameras. All we have to do is go ahead and click on this retrieve IP cam list from VMS, and then our cameras are connected. Turn on the monitoring status. It'll go to connecting. And since everything's properly set up with our VAS2 data magnet, now we can have monitoring all or on. And we can go into VAS2 now and then be able to see our data magnet data coming up on the right-hand side of our live view. Now we can also change up what we see for our data just by going to data magnet, edit display data, and we can uncheck or check boxes of what all we want displayed on the right-hand side. We can move around the data that's on the right-hand side to however would best fit us. Next, let's go over alarm management and how to set up an alarm. So under settings, we're going to go to alarm, add, delete. Let's click on the add alarm button. On the left-hand side, we're going to choose external device event and click on add trigger. Here we're going to leave it as data magnet and face me. For the data, we're going to choose group. For the first one, choose text. And if the group equals VIP from data source, and then put in your data source, so 6F backdoor. Let's go ahead and add that. And what do we want to do? Well, if that VIP shows up at that camera, then I want that camera to do a digital output trigger so to open up the door. So we'll select our camera with the digital output, select trigger, and add. Let's create a schedule. So we're going to make it for whenever we're at work, so 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. And then we'll create a name. And we'll just call this backdoor. And then click add. That's it. That's all set up for your alarm. So let's go ahead and show you a demo of that working. Here you can see our VIP walking around the corner. Whenever the camera recognizes them, you can see at the top right that our alarm has been triggered. So that face me 6F backdoor has been triggered. And if I want to do a replay of this event, all I have to do is click on this box up here and it'll bring me to my replay options. All right, guys, one last thing I want to show you is going to be the Face Me Security Central. So this is what it looks like. This is the web console. If I had any visitors today, then that information would show up here. I can also do a history search here. So all I have to do is at the top right, I can choose the dates that I want it to search. and apply it, and then it will give me all the list of the people, their names, and then how many times they visited, the date, um, and give me listed out by the dates. Okay, if I wanted to add people to my database, one, I can do that batch import like I was telling you before with that one of those icons that has been installed onto my desktop. And then I can also add them in manually one by one. All I have to do is click on a list. And then if I want to add a new person, then I'll click add a new person at the top right. I'm going to upload an image. And then one of the demos they gave us earlier was to show us that no, it's not going to like a picture of a dog, right? It'll tell you why it should not be used, but you can still use the photo if you want to for whatever reason, or if they tell you it's not a good one, then try and get a better picture. Remember, we can upload up to 5 different images to help with the accuracy. So if I were to upload my picture, then it comes up no problem, and then I can continue adding more pictures, enter in my name, company or department, my business title, email, and then any notes, and then click on save. Very easy to add any groups or any of employees or members to this people database. Pandemic control options are available as well. So if you need to know if anybody walks in without a mask or if they're wearing their mask improperly, then you can also get those alerts here. And then also here's where we would set up our VMS server. So that's going to be going to our VAS2. Here's our workstations and then cameras. For more information and also to download information on your software or to download the software, the guides or user manuals, then we can go to vivotek.com/solutions/facial recognition. So let me go ahead and show you that here. This is our website on vivotek.com. If you can't remember facial recognition, then just go to the search bar at the top and type in facial recognition. And it'll bring you, it's going to be the first one that pops up. So we'll go here, click on the CyberLink Face Me tab, and then scroll down, and it'll give you some great videos to introduce Face Me security to you. And then the other tutorial video that I was telling you about, this is a great one if you guys forget anything that I had said during our demo, or how to set it up, the steps, what order to go through. This is a great demo video right here. And then also, let me see, any of the system requirements that's necessary for it. And then if you are installing everything on one computer and the Face Me security system requirements are higher than our VAS2 requirements. So as long as you stick with the Face Me security system requirements, then you should be okay with the VAS2, but definitely check to make sure that your system is properly powered and has the, is beefy enough to do everything that you're trying to do if you're trying to get it to do all these different functions. And then at the bottom, here's where we can download the software, our user manual, installation guide. And if you guys want any other information or a 60-day trial license, then do the sales inquiry over here, and then we'll be able to help you out with that. All right, that is going to conclude my presentation on VIVOTEK's facial recognition software. Thank you guys so much for attending. We'll see you next time.